say something?
Yes, start. Yes, start.
Namaskar, happy Independence Day to everyone, and I welcome everyone on board today, and such an honor and a pleasure for myself to be hosting this celebration and the big event today on the occasion of Independence Day. And it's the theme for today is the nation first and always first. So we will just not saying anymore, like I will continue afterwards, but let's just start with national anthem first. And I would request everyone to stand up on their seats, like so that we can give a respect to our country, our nation. Navinji, you can start.
Yes.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
So now, like, it's a pleasure, like, to have everyone here from all different parts of the world. Like, we are really feeling honored to have this celebration with across the people from US, UK, Russia, India, Australia, everywhere in the world. Like, and I just like feel happy that even though we are in the amid of the coronavirus, but we can still celebrate it from our home and get everyone connected and across worldwide and get them to participate and celebrate such a wonderful occasion. And I would now request first to play like the recording that we have been honored to receive from our honorary retired general. I'll give a bit of brief about Vijay Kumar Singh ji. He is a retired general, like, and is an Indian politician and a former 4-star general in the Indian Army. He's the current Minister of State in the Ministry of Road, Transport and Highways, and the Ministry of Civil Aviation in the second Modi ministry. So before we play the recording, I would request our chair, Dharmendra Dhade ji, to give a bit of brief about GHARS, through which is a global global Hindu Association for Reform and Sustainable Societies, and Ayush Darpan Foundation. And we are honored to be collaborating with the Indian Consulate and Consulate General of India in Melbourne, as well as we received the greetings and for the celebration of the success of the event from our Honorary High Commissioner Manpreet Voraji, but Rajkumar Sharma ji, the Council General, Honorary His Excellency, would be present in a short while, and they would be coming live with us and sharing the celebration. So I would request now Dharmendra Dhari ji, the chair for GHARS, to say a few words of wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita ji. Thank you, everyone. Firstly, on behalf of GHARS, as a chairperson, I wish everyone a happy Independence Day. Today's celebration makes it very special to remember, as it is India after 75 years of independence. I also take this opportunity to welcome our chief guest for today's event, His Excellency Shri Rajkumar ji, and various other global eminent speakers from our small and ever-growing GHARS global community. Event supporters, participants, and online audience who will be taking their valuable time to connect with us for today's online celebration. So welcome you all. We also feel privileged and humbled to participate and be part of the Azadi Ka Mahotsav celebration organized in joint collaboration with the Indian High Commission, Canberra, and the Consulate General of India, Melbourne. Also our collaborative partners, Ayush Darpan Foundation, India. GHARS is a very young not-for-profit organization which endeavors to connect, unite, and make everyone interdependent on each other and fulfilling their needs ethically by practicing Sanatana Dharma philosophy and values. This event is special to all of our GHARS global community. As we all know, the Indian subcontinent is the birthplace for Sanatana Dharma practices and values. And it has been instrumental in building a grand nation of Bharat in the past. We believe in India as a very young nation with lots of hopes and aspirations. After the independence, it has developed steadily and emerged holistically as a global competitive leader, especially in the last 7 years, whether it be science, health, space, technology, pharmaceutical, or manufacturing industries, or even the recently concluded Tokyo Olympic sports events. It has consistently progressed in positive direction, and we think with everyone joining hands with a sense of purpose, dedication, commitment, and with our strong core Sanatana values, we can achieve the unthinkable. Without taking too much of everyone's time, I would also like to thank all our support groups, businesses, and associates for organizing this event, and wish everybody once again a happy 75th India Independence Day, and enjoy the event. May I also kindly request our host to commence the event by playing a small recorded greeting message from our inspirational Honorable Minister, Retired General Shri V.K. Singh ji, especially for our overseas Indian diaspora, with GHARS global community keeping in mind. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Dharmendra ji. It's a pleasure.
On the occasion of Independence Day. This is a special Independence Day as we enter into the 75th year of our independence. A day when we should look back and see as to how we achieved independence and what we have done in the last 75 years. Is it enough? Is it what we wanted? Is there something more that we have to do? I would say, let's introspect and let's look forward to another 25 years. By the end of the century of independence, what do we want India to be? I think you all have a great role to play. Your organizations have a great role in ensuring that all who are outside India contribute towards the growth of the nation. Your personal growth contributes towards the nation's growth. Please remember it. We as Indians must be proud of our achievements in the last 75 years and especially in the last 7 years. We have forged ahead with great force, and I feel that let's all pray, let's all dedicate ourselves, let's all inspire everybody and ensure that we emerge as a nation which India was many, many, many centuries back. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much. And we are really pleased and honored that we get like this such a inspiring and patriotic message from our retired general, but the current Minister of Railways and Transport, as well as the civil aviation currently in India. And we are so pleased that we could receive such greetings from such an honored person, especially on the eve of Independence Day. So I think like our chief guest hasn't joined yet. So what we can do is move Rajesh ji ahead of him, like and then we can start it from there, because like I think even the next one is not here yet. So can I request Rajesh Sharma ji, if you are okay to come forward, and
I'm always okay.
Okay, yeah, no, sure. Okay, I will just introduce Rajesh ji. Just a second, give me a second. Rajesh Sharma ji is a senior lecturer and a legal and dispute studies criminology and in the criminology and justice department in RMIT University, Melbourne, Australia. And he's an adjunct professor at Academy of International Dispute Resolution and Professional Negotiation, honorary professor for Xiangtan University Law School. And Professor Rajesh Sharma ji is currently teaching in RMIT University, Melbourne, Australia. Before coming to Australia, he was an associate professor at the School of Law, City University of Hong Kong. And he's been highly qualified, and just to cut it short, but he is very much like into India collaborations, and he's a PhD holder in law from China, as well as like he has researched extensively on the arbitration laws of China and India and other Asian countries, investment arbitration, dispute settlement in FTAs, and he has conducted research and provided expert comments to UN CITRUL on mediation as well as on conciliation. So I just, if I go on the list of his qualifications, the half of our session would be over. So just like cutting it short, I would like to introduce.
I think Honorable Dr. Rajkumar has joined, I think. Just.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Is it okay, Rajesh Sharma ji? Like, can I get him? Just a second.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's-
let me just get Rajkumar ji before Rajesh Sharma ji. So, okay, I'll continue the introduction. But happy Independence Day to Rajkumar ji, Honorary, and His Excellency Rajkumar ji. And thank you so much for joining today. And we are feeling privileged to have you on our event celebration on behalf of GHARS, like as a secretary in GHARS, and I am Vinita. I'm the Deputy Chair for Complementary Health and Skills IQ for the Department of Education. And I did win a couple of business awards as a Businesswoman of the Year, Woman Entrepreneur, and Women Achievers Award, like in the last 2-3 years. But I've been practicing Ayurveda in Melbourne and been among the first ones to introduce Ayurveda in Australia. So I've been practicing that for last like more than 20 years. And I'm so pleased to have Honorary His Excellency Rajkumar ji. And I have already passed on the greetings from our Honorary Manpreet Vora, our Honorable High Commissioner Commissioner of India in Indian High Commission in Canberra. And he has passed his greetings to us. And I welcome you to share some words of wisdom with us. Welcome, Rajkumar ji, and I'll hand it over to you now. Thank you.
Unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes.
We can hear you.
But I can't. There's some issues, I believe.
Yeah, it's audible and visible, sir.
Okay. Namaskar, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings on 75th Independence Day of India, which is marked as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. I like to thank GHARS for organizing celebrations of 75th part of
Sorry, your voice is cutting, Rajkumar ji, sorry.
by. Hello.
Hello, Hanji. We couldn't hear
Yeah.
you. Can you switch on your microphone, and make the volume on high? Are you still there?
Yes, now it's okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's better.
Well, there was some technical error. नमस्कार, आप सभी को 75वें इंडिपेंडेंस डे के लिए बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings on 75th Independence Day of India, which is marked as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. I like to thank GHARS for organizing celebrations of 75th Independence Day of India and inviting me to be part of Independence Day celebrations. This morning, we celebrated 75th Independence Day of India at the premises of the consulate with full fervor and enthusiasm by a flag hosting ceremony, reading out of the President's address, followed by some cultural programs, etc. live telecast was arranged in the Facebook and Twitter, which was watched over 6,000 people. I hope some of you must have also seen it. 75th Independence Day of India is a great landmark for all of us, and year-wide celebrations have already started. These celebrations have been marked as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. As PM Modi said, it means the elixir of the energy of freedom, which means the nectar of inspiration from freedom fighters, the nectar of new ideas, the nectar of new resolutions, and the nectar of self-reliance. India is having a vibrant and bilateral relations with Australia, especially Victoria, and which is having a very strong community component. It is only possible through organizations like yours, who is selflessly guiding the communities and serving the diaspora who belongs to different religion, faith, and culture. From the consulate, we have and will always be eager and look forward to support you in these efforts, which promote our common goal of integrity, cooperation, community, harmony, and cohesiveness. I like to take this opportunity to share with you that the Government of India has launched several initiatives to ensure efficient, timely, reliable, and accessible delivery of public services to the members of Indian diaspora. And to further facilitate effective communication between the consulate and members of Indian diaspora, the Ministry of External Affairs has recently launched Global Pravasi Rista portal. This portal would enable the diaspora to reach consular office services in a timely manner. Through the portal, registered members of the Indian diaspora would receive emergency alerts, advisories, updates on activities of the consulate, and information on the existing and new government schemes on a real-time basis. Therefore, I request you all and the members of the Indian diaspora residing in Victoria and Tasmania to register on this portal. The link is available on our website. With this, once again, I thank you all and congratulate you for celebrating this day and wish you all again a very happy Independence Day. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorary Rajkumarji,
Thank you, sir.
for blessing us with your presence. We feel really pleased and honored to have you, and look forward in the future. And thank you so much. Happy Independence
anytime,
Day.
whenever
And
you
please
need me,
stay
I'll be
with
there.
us. Yes, yes, and stay with us. We are continuing the celebration as long as you can. I know it's a very
Yeah,
busy
I
day.
can stay with you for some time because I have one
Yes.
more meeting.
No problem, no problem. As long as you can,
Sure.
just stay with us, and then you're more than welcome to get into another, because other people need you as well. So just like us. But thank you so much, and happy Independence Day. I just thank you so much, and now I would continue the introduction of Rajesh Sharma ji, who is currently a professor in the law department in RMIT, in Melbourne, and is quite a renowned, from the family of freedom fighters. I'll give a brief, I've already introduced him, but I would like to say something about his family. And he belongs to a family of freedom fighter. His father, Shri Ram Bihari Sharma ji, he was a lawyer and an educationist. He opened primary school, high school, and the college for girls. Also initiated opening of Central University in his town, which is now established, Mahatma Gandhi Central University, Motihari. And Motihari is the place from where Gandhiji started his freedom movement, and it is Rajesh Sharmaji's birthplace as well. And so I would like to welcome you, and we feel honored that you belong to a family, like such a family who has been offering the services to the nation. So we can't be more honored than that. So I'll hand it over to you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Vanitaji. First of all, everyone, happy 75th Independence Day of India. And His Excellency, Mr. Rajkumarji, is your presence and your speech is inspiring. And we have been following all these inspiring speeches since morning. I'm extra privileged and honored to be here on this occasion, invited as coming from a family of freedom fighter. My father was a freedom fighter, and in 1942, he went to jail. And we were kids at that time when he was telling their story and my mother was telling their story. And the one interesting part was that I used to see his fingers, and the fingers nail were very deformed, and the fingers were deformed. So I used to ask him, why your finger is not that nice and good and the nails are good? He said that when I was in jail, we were tortured. My nails were pulled out, or with the hammer it was smashed. So it was that kind of a thing. So he was telling us all those stories. My mother used to tell us that whenever he was in jail or whenever he did something against the Britishers and the police force when they were coming at home, at that time, like all the cooking utensils, if it was a metal utensils, they used to take away. And if it was a wooden one, they used to break. And if there was a earthen pot, they used to break. So basically, whenever the police was coming or my father get involved in this freedom fighter movement, my kitchen, my family, my mother has to rebuild the kitchen once again to take care of all the kids and other. Of course, I was not born at that time, but that was the story. We heard about it. But then he as in wanted everybody to educate in our field. And Motihari, for example, like as an example, most of the people out of India or in India, they know Motihari as a birthplace of George Orwell, the famous author of 1984. But they don't remember that this is the place where the Gandhi started freedom movement. This is the first time he was tried in the court of in Motihari. First time he was jailed at that time, like, taken to the jail for a few days in Motihari. So that was the time, like, and that is the place where we started. And at that place, there was no girls' school or the college over there. Even for the primary schools were not there. And my father took the lead and he started that one. But only one thing I asked him that when we were growing up, I asked him that which song you know, because we were very much into Bollywood song. So he only said that, oh, I only know one song, and that was Raghupati Raghav. That's the only thing he could say. And we were very surprised that how come you only know only one thing. Then I said, which are the sayings, like, other things which you can tell us? The one he was always telling us the story or the song or the poem written by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, which was like, Jahi vidhi rakhe ram, wahi vidhi rahiye, hariye na himmat, bisariye na harinam. That's what he was telling us. Then when we were in India, it was okay. But when in 1995, I left India and came to Hong Kong for a study and further study and work. And then I was just asking him that, okay, I'm going to India. Am I going to lose my connection with India and other? He said that don't worry about that. You going out of India is an ambassador of Indian culture, tradition, Indian itself. So you be there and just do your work over there with your honesty, with your integrity and hard work, so that you are representative in India, so that everybody over there, they should look at you and say that, okay, one Indian who is working like that, and so that he can form a good opinion about India. And I'm talking about place like Hong Kong, which was not very known outside. At that time, the students used to go to US and UK, but somehow I end up in Hong Kong. So that was a place. I was the only Indian in my university or my department at that time. So I was seen in a very different way. So my representation over there as an Indian was very important. And this morning, Prime Minister Modi from Lal Killa, he said that he was talking about the manufacturing, and he said that goods which are manufactured in India and used outside India, every time when people use it, they should remember that they should be proud of saying that this is made in India. The same way, we are also the ambassador of India on our own right, in our own way, in our own sector as an individual. So I always feel that we have to do that, and we have to carry out on that. My profession as such is in teaching. So I can only contribute to that. And this is what I think, that whatever we do in our sector, in our professional, whatever we can contribute, that is our contribution to India, and that keeps our nation first from us. So this is the way, we should do it. And as a teacher, I'm very privileged that I interact with students from many countries, and where I have an opportunity, regular opportunity, to share our Indian culture, knowledge, tradition, and all those things. I get many questions like that. They think that I'm expert in yoga. But sometimes I have to tell them that not everybody is expert in everything. They ask the management and the other students. They always ask. Just yesterday, they were asking me about what is the Indian culture. When we have a business deal with India, then what we should do? What are the culturals, do's and don'ts that we should follow? So we represent, and we presented our Indian culture in that sense. Another thing, which we take it our own, that Amrit, as His Excellency just mentioned, that this is the Amrit Mahotsav, Amrit of knowledge, Amrit, nectar of that. This is what Prime Minister said very nicely in this one. And we should know that, and all these people who are involved in this sector, like energy reliance, which he said, it's a very different term. But when he was speaking, he said a very, very important one-line message, which he gave. He said that we have to create a standard for clean hydrogen. Now, this was just not a word. It's not just a sentence. It is establishing a benchmark in the world. Why it is important? Because it's something new which is happening. Everybody is interested in that. They know that. But what we need to know, that we have to integrate with the international community, and we have to get plugged into making the new rules, new regulations, new policy about it, where we can contribute on our side. If you look at since 1945 onward, which Prime Minister was again saying that how the world changed after the Second World War, and he was mentioning about international organization and the trading rules and other. If you think about it, since then, we never got an opportunity to really integrate there. Whatever we see now is either US-centric or is a EU-centric. There's nothing in between. And now the India is poised to that situation where we can make an inroad, where we can present ourselves, we can be there and take part in this discussion, and to make or get integrated and help them to make a new rules, or something that we can be proud of, and we can say that to the next generation that we were part of this rule making, the way we remember about how the United Nations was created, the same way. So I take this place today, and in that case where I was working on this area of hydrogen and all energy and everything, and I thought that, okay, this is a good opportunity that now we can come forward. Melbourne is the place where the hydrogen trade has started with Japan. This is the time we can share the experience of Melbourne to India, get Indian people involved over there, and whatever we can do in all our sectors. We don't have to encroach into, I'm not knowledgeable in Ayurveda, but whatever I can do from my side, I should take care of that. And that, as an Indian, I feel that this is my opportunity, this is my duty, and this is way I can keep India first, the nation first, and I can be behind that. So this is my contribution. So thank you very much once again, Gar and Vanita ji, to invite me, and thank you very much, everyone. Namaste.
You are most welcome, Rajesh Sharma ji, and thank you so much for putting your nice offer, for even being a responsible citizen or in Australia and India, like being an Indian nationality and background. You have anyways accomplished so much, and we look forward for your even more contribution between India and Australia, and through GHARS, giving us an opportunity to be a part of those. Thank you very much. And now I would invite our other honorable guest, which is actor Karan Anand, who is a Bollywood actor, and he is a producer as well. So just recently, giving a brief introduction about him, he is very, very patriotic and very spiritual, lot into yoga and fitness and everything. So he loves Ayurveda, and he loves India. And he is residing in India, in Mumbai. And just most recently, I would be finding a pleasure to announce that his movie, Black, they won that award in, which is the 11th Dada Saheb Phalke Film Festival Award. His movie won that award, and even in Barcelona International Film Festival, they were the finalists. And so he, in a very young age, like he's only 37, and he's already accomplished quite a lot. And I'm honored that he calls me his sister, and he is like accepted honorably like our invitation today, like to be on this such a occasion of Independence Day we are celebrating. And I would give a bit of a brief introduction. He's from Uttaranchal as well. And Karan Anand was born and raised in a middle-class family who was always interested in acting since his childhood. And he was interested in playing cricket since his childhood days, and also been man of the match several times during his college days. And he never wanted, Karan's parents never wanted him to opt acting and modeling for his profession. Initially, he worked as a repertory for some time in his hometown, but then he learned acting skills from the National School of Drama, New Delhi. Later on, he moved to Mumbai, where he joined the theatre group Ekjut, and after a period of struggle, he got a role in telefilm Amrit Kumbh, where he played the role of Lakshman. And in 2009, he started working in the TV serial Chittor Ki Rani, Padmini Ka Johor, in which he played the role of Raghav Chetan. And then he also appeared in many Hindi films like Kick Baby, Calendar Girls, Look, Rangila Raja, and all that. So apart from working in Bollywood, Karan has always worked in movies of other languages and has been featured in several TV ads like Donia Suitings, GT Castrol Oil, State Bank of India. Karan has also worked as producer in TV serial Ek Lakshay. And he is a black belt holder in martial art form. And as I already said, he's a fitness enthusiast. He loves dogs, and he is very inspired from Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So cutting it short, I would invite him now to share his wisdom. And I think he's going to recite some poetry on this occasion of Independence Day. So welcome, Karan Anand, my brother. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Can you see me?
We can't see you.
Wait a minute. Hello. Right.
We can hear you, but we can't see you. Yes, now it's okay. Yes, yes, perfect.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me. And आप सभी को 75th स्वतंत्रता दिवस की बहुत बहुत बधाई, बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। मैं आज इस प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से आप सभी को इस स्वतंत्रता दिवस की बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं, जो इंडिया में हैं या जो इंडिया के बाहर हैं, उन सबको मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत बधाई हो। और मेरी सिस्टर विनीता जी ने बहुत लंबा चौड़ा इंट्रोडक्शन मेरा दे दिया। Yes, I'm artist and I'm in Mumbai. I'm doing films, trying to do something good from my side for my country, to serve my country. ये जो पोएट्री है, ये एक सॉन्ग है जो मुझे बहुत पसंद है। ये आप सब लोगों की, I hope you will also feel same whatever I am feeling. It's a beautiful thought and beautiful thing. It's a very old song, but it's a contemporary till now. और मुझे लगता है कि आने वाले समय में भी ये कंटेम्परेरी ही रहेगा, क्योंकि राष्ट्रभक्ति और देशभक्ति कभी नहीं बदलती है। आज मैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से उन आजादी के दीवानों को भी नमन करता हूं हाथ जोड़ के, जिन्होंने अनकंडीशनली सैक्रिफाइस करके आज हमें ये दिया है। शायद हम उनके उस दर्द को, उस पेन को नहीं समझ सकते जो उन्होंने फील किया होगा। और लेकिन हमारी ये ड्यूटी बनती है कि हम इस आजादी को इतना संभालें, इतना संजोएं और इतने अच्छे से इसको प्रिक्योर करें कि फिर कभी कोई हमें आंख ना दिखा सके, फिर कोई कभी हमारी जमीन पर कब्जा ना कर सके, फिर कभी हमें गुलामी ना करनी पड़े, और हम अपने भारतवर्ष जो हजारों साल पहले पूरे विश्व का गुरु था, हम उसे फिर से गुरु बनाएं। मेरी यही कामना है। और इसके साथ मैं ये एक पोएट्री आप लोगों के नजर करता हूं। आई होप यू विल लाइक इट। ऐ मेरे प्यारे वतन, ऐ मेरे बिछड़े चमन, तुझ पे दिल कुर्बान, तू ही मेरी आरज़ू, तू ही मेरी आबरू, तू ही मेरी जान। तेरे दामन से जो आए उन हवाओं को सलाम, तेरे दामन से जो आए उन हवाओं को सलाम, चूम लूं मैं उन जुबां को जिस पे आए तेरा, सबसे प्यारी तेरी, सबसे रंगी तेरी शान, तुझ पे दिल कुर्बान,
जो ये पढ़ रहे हैं,
आबरू, तू ही मेरी आरज़ू, तू ही। ये बहुत, मैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से आज मैं एक बात और कहना चाहूंगा कि हमारे गोल्डन बॉय नीरज चोपड़ा, जो हमारी कंट्री के लिए एथलीट में, स्टार्ट फ्रॉम ओलंपिक जब से शुरू हुआ है आज तक पहली बार कि एथलीट में हमें गोल्ड मेडल मिला है, तो उनके लिए मैंने एक पोएट्री सोशल मीडिया पे डाली थी जो मैं यहाँ कहना चाहूंगा। उसके डुअल मतलब है, एक तो उनके लिए था और दूसरा जो हमारी तरफ आंख दिखा रहे हैं, जो हमारी नेबर कंट्रीज हैं या जो भी हैं, ये उनके लिए भी मैसेज है। द्वंद कहां तक पाला जाए, द्वंद मतलब जब हम किसी को कुछ कह देते हैं और उसको हम अपने अंदर सोचते रहते हैं कि हमने क्यों कहा, क्या कहा, इस तरह की उलझनों को, द्वंद कहां तक पाला जाए, युद्ध कहां तक टाला जाए, क्योंकि युद्ध अगर सर पे आ गया है तो नहीं टालना चाहिए, फिर युद्ध होना ही चाहिए। द्वंद कहां तक पाला जाए, युद्ध कहां तक टाला जाए, तू तो है राणा का वंशज, फेंक जहां तक भाला जाए। ये नीरज जी के लिए था कि उन्होंने भाला इतनी दूर तक फेंका जेवलिन थ्रो में कि हमें गोल्ड मेडल मिला। और अंत में, दोनों तरफ लिखा हो भारत, दोनों तरफ लिखा हो भारत, सिक्का वही उछाला जाए, द्वंद कहां तक पाला जाए, युद्ध कहां तक टाला जाए। मैं अपनी बात यहां से खत्म करता हूं और आप सबको बहुत बहुत थैंक यू कि आप लोगों ने इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर मुझे बुलाया। और मेरी बड़ी बहन विनीता, जो मेरी एल्डरली सिस्टर हैं, ये प्लेटोनिक सिस्टर हैं हमारी, हम आज तक वीडियो पर ही मिले हैं, कभी आमने सामने नहीं मिले। आपको बहुत बहुत थैंक यू। और काउंसलेट जनरल इंडिया इन मेलबर्न को सो मच थैंक यू सर कि यू हैड कॉल्ड मी ऑन दिस ओकेजन। और इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर जो भी लोग ज्वाइंड हैं, उन सबको हमारी स्वतंत्रता दिवस की बहुत बहुत बधाई। ये हमारा राष्ट्र पर्व है जिसे हमें बहुत धूमधाम से मनाना चाहिए। मैं तो बहुत धूमधाम से, ये देखिए, मुझे एक लक्ष्य के लिए ये ट्रॉफी मिली थी जिसमें हमारी सोल्जर्स के साथ हमारे इंडिया का मैप है। मैं इसको लेके बैठा हुआ हूँ और बहुत ही पैट्रियोटिक फील कर रहा हूँ। थैंक यू सो मच।
We are so blessed and honored, and it was a beautiful poetry, very very patriotic, and we are so grateful to you, like for showing your patriotic values, like and sharing with us, like, and that was very rightly said, dono taraf Bharat, right? And
I हो भारत,
हाँ,
वही उछाला जाए।
बिल्कुल। so, देखो, मैं ठीक भी नहीं बोल पाई, लेकिन आप में वो जोश भी नजर आता है और वो सब वो भी जश्न को हम मना रहे हैं।
Yes.
आज के पर्व को, ये हमारे लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है। और जिन लोगों ने ये सेक्रीफाइसेस किए, जो मार्टियर्स हैं, सुभाष चंद्र बोस, जैसे शहीद भगत सिंह, बहुत ऐसे
कि, और भगत सिंह जी नहीं, मैं उन लाखों की बात करता हूं जो अनसंग हैं, जिनके बारे में हमें पता ही नहीं है, ऐसे ऐसे लोगों ने ऐसी सेक्रीफाइसेस किए हैं। अभी मैं कुछ हम एक फिल्म का कुछ प्रपोजल बन रहा है, उसमें ऐसे ऐसे लोगों के बारे में पता लगा, हैरानी हुई कि उन्होंने अपने परिवार को इस तरह से सेक्रीफाइस किया है। बाबा बंदा सिंह बहादुर, जिनका गोश्त, उनके बच्चे को काट के उनका गोश्त उनके मुंह में डाल दिया गया था। इस तरह के लोगों ने सेक्रीफाइस किए हैं। तो मैं सबको नमन है, और हमें इस आजादी को बहुत संभालना चाहिए। शायद बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो इस आजादी की कदर नहीं कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि उनको लगता है ये आजादी फ्री में मिली है। ऐसा नहीं है, इसकी बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकाई गई है।
जो आने वाली जनरेशन है और यूथ है, अब उन्हीं के शोल्डर्स पे सब है, और
ये उनको बताना हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। उनको पता होगा that is not right. We have to do something for them to understand what is our freedom. How did we got this?
And also, I would like to share, Karan is doing some kind of like a movie in the future, which is actually on India and Indian history, which is his future project, and he's already working on that, and he spoke to me about it, so I was really pleased to hear. So that's why I just thought there couldn't be a better time, when I can invite him and introduce him to the Indian diaspora outside of India. They already know about you, but it's just a medium. That's how we introduce our history and our nation's history beyond than what is in the books. There is a lot to know. And thank you so much, Karanji. And I wish you good luck for your future endeavors and your projects. And may you receive many more awards, even on the time of Independence Day. So blessings to you, and happy Independence Day on the occasion. And thank you so much for coming. So now I would like to invite Sarita Mashak. She is running an institute in Melbourne, Australia. She is a very a professional sitar player, if I'm not wrong, and she's going to do a performance with her sitar, which I always get drifted away. When she plays, I just can't hold my breath. She is so amazing, and she runs an institute called Sarita Music, and that's a website as well. And she's based in Melbourne, Australia, and we are so lucky to have her here. And now I would request Sarita ji to come and show your performance and get others holding their breaths along with me. Thank you.
First of all, I thank you and happy Independence Day. And thank you, Vanita ji and Karan ji and everyone who's out there, and Honorable Minister as well, that give me opportunity, Vanita ji, to come on this platform. And being in Melbourne, and I feel like I'm born from Ujjain, I'm from Madhya Pradesh, and come from a music family as well. My dad and my mom are both in India. And as Karanji, you are in Mumbai, I study in Mumbai in SNDT University as well. And I live in 4 years in Nariman Point and SNDT University. So when I'm talking to you about in the movies and everything what you're doing, it just takes me back again, even watching you. Because last 3 years, I have not been to India. And to attend on this platform, thank you, Vinita ji. And
you're most welcome.
So first of all, it's an Independence Day. So before I play sitar, I like to sing that beautiful patriotic song, or actually Vande Mataram. You know, this is the first thing when I grew up in India and it's going to the school, that's what we learn. So still we are in lockdown, so I don't know if you can hear me properly. Can you hear me?
We can hear you absolutely perfect.
So I start with this Vande Mataram, and then I'll play a little sitar. Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujana Sufala Malaya Shitala Sasya Samela Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujela Sufala Mataram, Shubhra Joshna Phul ki teyari Kusumita Drupadalasha Suhasini Subhadure Vashini Sufera Farida Matera Vande Matera. It takes me back to my age of 7 when I was 7 years old and used to listening to this beautiful. So happy Independence Day and thank you so much. This is the rag, mix of rag and bass as well.
गाड़ी नहीं ले गया हो ना, उसमें यार
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, like Sarita ji. And every time I invite you, you never say no, which is a blessing for me. And we are so grateful to you on behalf of GHARS, like that you always contribute in most of our events, like and show your wonderful skill of playing and even singing today, which was absolutely melodious. And thank you for being here and part of the celebration. Please stay back and enjoy the other performances as well. Thank you. And now I would request Dr. Neeraj Thakur, if you could say a little bit just on the occasion on behalf of GHARS. He's an Ayurveda doctor in Sydney and is also like a director, one of the directors in GHARS, as well as like looks after a director of finance like in GHARS. But he has been practicing in Sydney for good long, like Ayurveda, just like myself, and we were classmates, like in the Ayurveda college, like in Chandigarh, and had been very close friends. Like, so I would just like him to say something from on behalf of GHARS, like, and welcome, Dr. Neeraj Thakur. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vinita, and welcome to all people over here to celebrate the Independence Day, 75th Independence Day of India. Although I wasn't any prepared to give any speech on, but Dr. Vinita gave me a surprise straight away. So first of all, very much happy for the independence celebrations, and we all together here on one platform. As Dr. Vinita have explained, like GHARS, we are trying our best to run this organization. This is a non-profitable organization where we believe in a humanity and basically related with the Sanatan Dharma, but it's not with the only one Dharma. We just believe in a humanity, and everybody throughout the world is our family member. So we are sustaining ourselves for the well-being of humanity and well-being for the community. And mostly we are attached with the people who are human, who love the humanity and patriotic towards their countries, either they are in which country they are or which country they are born in. We like the like-minded people to flourish ourselves in a field of humanity. And I don't have any much words to say more about about the first the program is going on. But yes, GHARS, we are building a strong platform to develop ourselves so that in anybody who needs any help in any of a crisis, like the COVID crisis are going on through worldwide, we are always there to help socially, physically, or mentally. Anybody, if in any circumstances they are not having a I mean, like they're not having a particular good circumstances ongoing anybody you known to them, so you can recommend GHARS director straightway, or to anybody who's dealing with the GHARS, so that we can be providing any help to the community for the well-being of humanity. So this is all my good words to the organization and to all the eminent people who are there presently right now. So thanks very much. And the Independence Day, we know that this is 75th Independence Day, and we most of the we people right now on the platform, we belong to India. We're born and bred and over there in India. Now we migrated to different countries. But what I have seen, like there is lots of the growing phase of India is coming up, and it is being recognized through all the world now. What it is being thousands of years being recognized before, now it is the same. Now the process is going on the global platform, that India is being recognized for its many deep rooted the spiritual and the civilization and the dharmic developments. And I'm very much happy to be a born person of India. And now lots of things are happening in India as well, like, and it's coming up. Although what it is, the international level, the yoga, the Ayurveda, and the mythological, the philosophies, it is being recognized throughout the world now, and the world is accepting the culture and the Sanskriti of Indian people. And most on the top of that, there is the Sanskrit, which is one of our eminent language, which is the base root of a language, is being recognized through word and is being recognized in electronic media as well. So I'm very much proud being an Indian first, then Australian. So thanks to all the people who are doing efforts to make ourselves like flourishing country, Indian country coming up. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Neeraj. You know, the surprises are always best, because that brings out your true feelings, and the real feelings. So it always has to be there for some or the other. So I always make sure that I surprise someone, like in each of the events, because I just keep looking at my audience, and I can see who is getting lazy, and then I can just call them on board. But anyways, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. And I would now just say a few words, just because this year, amid of coronavirus pandemic, India marks the 75th anniversary of the culmination of our freedom struggle. So going back, as we commemorate the occasion, let's look at the history. From 1857 till 1947, history has noticed several revolutions and sacrifices of our great leaders and freedom fighters like Mahatma Gandhi, Bhagat Singh, as even Karanji mentioned, Chandrasekhar Azad, and millions of the names that are not even ever known, but made India free from the colonial rule of the Britishers. So saying as now, as a nation first and always first, that's what we have to bring, the country first. So now celebrating the victory of the Indians, even in who won the Tokyo Olympics, as well as the Australians, because I'm an Australian Indian, established in as an Indian diaspora in Australia, Melbourne. And I am practicing this legacy of India, which is Ayurveda and yoga in Melbourne, for centuries. So just like the legendary hero Neeraj Chopra, we had many more in the youth that would be contributing in the future. That was such a commendable accomplishment, like after like almost 30 years, I believe, like if I'm not wrong, that India received such a good, and Neeraj Chopra is the one, the hero, the real hero who brought pride to our nation. Yeah. And now I would welcome Jessie Kaur. She is, we are so honored to have her here on the event to celebrate Independence Day. She is an author and an international and TEDx speaker and orator. She has written 3 children's books that are being used to enrichment literature and teachers resource books in the several countries. Her latest book, Home of the Beloved, encapsulates the core message of Shri Guru Granth Sahib in 50 universal spiritual concepts. Jessie's essays on contemporary issues have been published online and print journals and several anthologies. She has delivered workshops and seminars at international conferences, youth retreats, and has been invited to speak at the Parliament of World's Religions several times. She has been featured in TV shows and award-winning documentaries. She produced a multicultural children's musical based on one of her books, The Royal Falcon. She served 2 terms as the Fine Arts Commissioner of the city of Cupertino. She is a talent acquisition consultant in Silicon Valley. Prior to moving to the US, she taught English literature at Delhi University, along with a master's degree in English literature. She has a postgraduate diploma in mass communication and journalism. And her website, if you want to know more about her, it's www.jessiekaur.com. And please feel free to visit her website to know more. And now I would honorably invite Jessie Ji to take over the stage. Thank you.
Vanita Ji, thank you so much for this very warm introduction and offering me this opportunity to celebrate India's 75th Independence Day. It's such a beautiful event that you've organized, and it's been an absolute pleasure to hear luminaries like Professor Sharma and Karan Anand, and listen to beautiful music by Sarita. It's just been an absolute pleasure to be here and listen to everyone. So I left India almost 40 years ago, but I feel that my roots were established in the Indian soil. I'm well aware of the fact that the Sikh gurus that brought the message of Ek Onkar, of one creator, one manifestation of the universe, walked and talked and spread the message of oneness in India. It's absolutely a pleasure for me today as a Sikh to be representing not just my community, but as an expatriate, someone who grew up and loved her, her time in India, which although has seems like a long time, but there are certain memories and friendships and life lessons that are still alive today. We've heard about India's freedom and independence and how important it is not to take it for granted. Today, I'm going to take you back beyond 1857, before the colonial Raj, to the time when we were ruled by despots and tyrannical regimes that not just snatched away the freedom of Indian people, but plundered and looted India. And I do this, as Karan Anand says, there are many unsung heroes to draw our attention to the patriots, that lived and died on the soil of India for India's independence, for India's people to thrive and live and breathe freely. Freedom is so important. Nelson Mandela once said that I'm born free. I don't hunger for freedom. I am free. Bal Gangadhar Tilak said, Swaraj is my destiny. I want to have to live in a land that is run by us, not by others. The power to act freely, to speak and think freely, without hindrance, without restraint, is freedom. Absence of subjugation to foreign domination or despotic governments is essential for that freedom. And not being imprisoned or enslaved by anyone, any regime. So I take you back to a time when India was known as the Golden Sparrow, and plunderers and foreign invaders came and established their tyrannical rule over India. And enormous blood and treasure was expended to make India free again. So bear with me and let's take a look at that history. Mahmud of Ghazni invaded India 17 times from 1001 to 1027 AD. Muhammad Ghori attacked India 7 times between 1175 and 1192 AD and became India's ruler. Alauddin Khilji's invasions and tyrannical rule lasted until 1316. Muhammad bin Tughlaq reigned India from 1325 to 1351. These people came as invaders and became rulers. They made terrible onslaughts to the land and its people. The sacred shrines of India were attacked and plundered and looted. Tens of thousands of people of India were killed, were massacred. Young girls were kidnapped and sold in the bazaars of Ghazni and wherever else these people came from for pennies. Untold insults and abuses were heaped upon Indians. I was reading McAuliffe's history of the Sikh religion, and in that he mentions that one of these rulers, Alauddin Khilji, asked his Qazi, what should the fate of the Hindus be in India? And the Qazi said to him that Hindus are like the land. If we ask for silver, they should give us gold. And if a Mohammedan asks a Hindu to open his mouth and spit in it, the Hindu person should oblige. This is the level of untold insults and abuse that our country went through. We have forgotten this history because, history is written by people who win countries, not by us, not people that live in it. So I am bringing up those memories so that, as Karanji said, no one should dare look at the free people of India or free people anywhere and turn a sacred land into a river of blood. Sorry. I think someone's not.
Can I request everyone to mute their mics, please? It just creates a disturbance. Thank you. Would appreciate.
So the advent of the Sikh gurus and the Sikh thought started in the 15th century with the birth of Guru Nanak in 1469. My subject today is the supreme sacrifice that Guru Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Guru of the Sikhs, whose 400th birth anniversary we are celebrating this year, what relevance does it have to India's freedom and India's sovereignty? And before I talk about his beheading in Chandni Chowk, the center of Delhi, I will trace the development of Sikh thought and Sikh religion that opposed the tyrannical rule of these invaders, these so-called emperors that took away our rights and imposed economic sanctions on our people. In Sri Guru Granth Sahib, Guru Nanak describes the plight of India under Babur, who established the Mughal dynasty in India as this: descending from Kabul with the marriage party of sin, Paap ki Janj, Babur forcibly demands charity, daan of women. Modesty and righteousness have vanished, and falsehood has presided. In place of Qazis and Brahmins, marriage rites are presided over by Satan. Muslim and Hindu women and others became the victims, and in their suffering, they pray to God. The eulogies of blood, Khoon ke sohele, are being sung, and the saffron of blood is being sprinkled. India has become a city of corpses. Ethically, Babur's men represented unrighteousness and falsehood. The two things Guru Nanak strongly disapproved of. He held Babur directly responsible for the sins of his men when they indiscriminately plundered and raped women, throwing modesty overboard. Guru Nanak spoke truth to power when he was imprisoned for his opposition to cruelty. He said the age has become a knife. Kings are butchers. Justice has taken wings and fled. In this complete dark night of falsehood, the moon of truth is never seen to rise. So this is what righteous people do. They speak truth to power. They speak truth to emperors. They challenge them. That's what Guru Nanak did. And then to infuse strength, because for people to be strong and morally righteous, spirituality is needed. Spiritual roots are needed. And India has been the land of saints and sages forever. But our temples were desecrated. They were plundered and looted. And in this environment, Guru Nanak spoke about the equality of all people. The caste system had rigid lines drawn. Women were performing sati. And he talked about the spiritual principles to infuse strength in the Indian people so that we could fight for our freedom, so that we could fight the tyranny of these emperors whom history has glorified and romanticized. He talked about righteous living, dharam ki kirt. He talked about one chakna, which is sharing the resources with everyone. If you are rich, share what you have. If you're knowledgeable, share that. If you have any other gifts, share them, because you're part of one humanity. You're part of one manifestation of the Creator. Spiritual strength and moral righteousness are important for advancement. Mere physical strength turns us into brutes. And that's what these emperors were. These became the cornerstone of the spiritual warriors that later fought for India's freedom. But that happened a couple of years later. The institutions developed in the medieval times to bring equality and oneness were langar. And you've seen what the concept of langar has done during COVID times. They've turned gurdwaras into hospitals, and there's langars of oxygen and the langars of people coming and serving not just food but anything that is needed. The pangat, which made people sit equally with every voice having the equal right at the table. Sangat, sangha or congregations of people who are walking this path. So these institutions were established. And then came the fourth, I want to say, so there was Babur, and then Humayun and Akbar were more tolerant and less bigoted. And then came Jahangir, the Mughal emperor of India, who ruled from 1605 to 1627. There is an aura of romance around him because of Noor Jahan, but he was such an unjust king. There was no justice under him. Sir Thomas Roe, the British ambassador in his court, describes how he caught a band of 100 robbers in Agra and executed them in strategic areas to instill fear in people. And the chief of the robbers was fed to the dogs. This is how Indians were treated, both Hindus and Muslims. Anyone who defied these emperors, they were treated by them. When it was brought to Jahangir's attention that Brahmins in Benares were teaching Hindu scriptures, he destroyed the temple of Vishwanath and put an end to all schools and spiritual learning of what he called infidels. So this is what India has gone through. The merciless killing of Guru Arjan Dev. Guru Arjan was the fifth Guru of the Sikhs, and he compiled Sri Guru Granth Sahib, the Sikh scripture, which has the sacred writings of not just the Sikh Gurus, but Hindu priests, Hindu sages, Hindu devotees, Hindu spiritualists, as well as Muslim sages. And Jahangir heard of his popularity and captured him. And another thing that had happened was Jahangir's son, Khusrau, had rebelled against Jahangir's atrocities, and Guru Arjan gave him shelter. Guru Arjan was tortured and put to death. These are patriotic people who fought for the freedoms of our people. After his martyrdom, his son sowed the seeds of the martial tradition amongst the Sikhs, because a long drawn battle was going to be fought against tyranny and for the freedom of India. His son wore two swords, one for Miri and one for Piri, meaning one for the temporal victory and one for spiritual victory. Guru Hargobind was imprisoned falsely by Jahangir with 52 Hindu Rajas. And then Jahangir relented and was ready to release Guru Hargobind. But he would not be released until the 52 Hindu Rajas were also released. So this is standing up for justice for all, because justice delayed is justice denied. Equal justice for all, again, standing up for truth. This is what was instilled that paved this is what was instilled by the predecessors of Guru Tegh Bahadur, whose martyrdom we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. So there is no liberty in a nation where there is no protection for its citizenships, where there are no civil or human rights, where there is no equality for women. And then comes Aurangzeb, the bigot of all bigots. He surpassed the tyrannical regime of the earlier emperors. He took several methods to uproot Hinduism, from economic sanctions to forcible conversions to removing the sacred threads to razing Hindu temples to the grounds. It is said that every day he had his breakfast only after a mound and a half of sacred Hindu thread was removed. A mound and a half is about 38 kilograms. So think about it, how many Hindus he forcibly converted or put to death. So Kashmiri Pandits went to Guru Tegh Bahadur, who was deemed a pious saint, a godly person, and asked him to intervene, to go talk to Jahangir and as their representative and help change his mind. Guruji was a prize catch as far as Jahangir was concerned. I mean, as Aurangzeb was concerned, he was relentless. He offered Guru Tegh Bahadur the choice to either convert to Islam or to die. Of course, the Guru chose to die. His companions were tortured and killed in front of him. Karan Anand talked about Banda Singh Bahadur. He came after Guru Gobind Singh. And soon after that, the Mughal dynasty crumbled. But not before more blood was shed, not before hundreds of thousands of followers of the Gurus who fought for the freedom of India were tyrannically subjugated. So why is it important to know this? Why is it important to remember the martyrdom of Guru Tegh Bahadur? The fact that 4 of Guru Gobind Singh's sons, 2 were killed in the battlefield and 2 were bricked alive. Just like the freedom from the colonial Raj was preciously achieved, so were the freedoms in the 15th, 16th, and 17th century were achieved after paying a heavy price. Freedom of religion, for which Guru Tegh Bahadur died, is the most essential of the freedoms. It's at the very heart of freedom. Our faith nurtures us, sustains us. Minority religions have an equal right to practice, preach, and gather in congregations. They have an equal right to be spiritually evolved, to practice their faith as and how and when they please. Freedom of thought and speech is fundamental to a free people. Freedom to have a fair trial is important, which Jahangir flaunted and did not abide by. Freedom for women to have equal representation is important. Freedom to protest against an unfair government and its mandates is very significant. In a democracy like India, freedom to vote and to demand fair elections. People's voice cannot and must not be silenced or bought or subdued. History shows us what happens when these freedoms are compromised. People rise and revolutions happen, but not before tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of men and women are massacred. The medieval history of India, the rise of the Sikh faith, the sacrifice of the gurus and the followers of truth brought a tyrannical regime down. There is power in truth. There is power in righteousness. There's power in justice. Freedom comes with responsibility and accountabilities. Governments are answerable to their people. People as responsible citizens are answerable to a neutral government and a fair justice system. As Nelson Mandela said, to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. This is how freedom thrives. So again, what are our lessons? Our lessons are that India is a young democracy, less than 100 years old. There is a lot to celebrate. There is a lot of victory. There are a lot of achievements. Self-governance is precious, very precious. As an expatriate, a representative of a minority community of India, Sikhs, just about 2%. But as freedom fighters, 93 Sikhs were hanged when the British hung Indian freedom fighters. The total number was 121. 93 were Sikhs. I celebrate and I feel joyous in India's achievements because that's where my roots are. I have been a talent acquisition consultant in the high-tech industry, and a lot of my clients are Indians. And somehow there is a sweet connection there. There is a desire to help them above and beyond, what I'm doing as my role as a talent consultant. There is a joy in the achievements of other Indians that I feel. My son, when he was a lot younger, very intuitively said, "Mom, when I have someone in my class who's an Indian, I feel I already know them. I just have to get to know them better." He was about 8 or 9, born and raised here. He too felt a connection that is so deep-rooted with other Indians. It's something we cherish. The Indians in the diaspora, we cherish that connection. There are a couple of things that have pained me, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention those. As I celebrate India's freedom, I am still pained that the perpetrators of the crimes against Sikhs in 1984 are still running free. I'm pained that the farmers' protest hasn't come to a happy resolution. We are a young nation, but we must become a very responsible nation. And that is where greater victory and greater achievement lies. I am so grateful to be speaking on this platform in front of such luminaries. I want to read Rabindranath Tagore's poem on freedom before I thank you all once again and end my conversation with you here. Rabindranath Tagore's poem on freedom, which is summed up, is where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, Jassi ji. That was very, very inspiring, and I'm so amazed in listening to the history that I never heard in the past. Like, it's always interesting to know how all other communities had been involved in this struggle for freedom for our nation, India. So I'm really grateful for you to putting your thoughts and then saying the poetry of Rabindranath Tagore ji. And we definitely have to come up together and for the nation, and definitely stand for the nation, because it's always the nation first. And thank you. And we are honored and grateful.
Thank you for having me here. And it was such an opportunity to hear some amazing, an amazing freedom fighter, someone who comes from a freedom fighting family, and then Karan Anand and beautiful music. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. We are pleased. Thank you. And now, talking about the celebrations of the Independence Day this year, as we all know, that had been a bit restrictive. And the reason is obvious, because the whole world is confronting this deadly virus, which has disrupted all activities and taken a huge toll. It has altered the world we lived in before the pandemic. So I just feel a pleasure for a country which is rich and diverse, with a high population density, that has made superhuman efforts towards getting this freedom. And now I would like to invite Svetlana. She is here among us, from Russia. She is a teacher of mathematics in high school in Russia. I think she's based in Moscow, if I'm not wrong, but she can clarify that. But I just want to let her say how she got acquainted to Sanatana Dharma and Hinduism. She is a big follower and have always been involved in all the activities relative with the Hinduism. And we are so proud of her, being a Russian nationality and coming from different diverse background, how amazingly she is contributing towards propagating our Hindu Sanatana Dharma, which is an amazing thing. And now I would let her say how she got acquainted to this, about Sanatana Dharma and all that. Welcome, Svetlana, and thank you for accepting our invite on behalf of GHARS. Thank you. We can't hear you. I think you're muted. Still can't hear. We can't hear Svetlana. Is your microphone on? because it's on from our side, but we can't hear you.
Our audio is not connected.
Your audio is not connected. We can't hear you.
Please leave once this meeting, then again join when your audio is connected.
Yeah, rejoin like the Zoom meeting. Just leave the meeting and then rejoin, but put your audio on, like your microphone setting, your audio, connect that. Yeah, so you have to leave the meeting and reconnect. Okay, Navinji, can we play the video, the one that is a recording of Shishu Mandir meanwhile, like while Svetlana gets online? So I would like to introduce Yogesh ji. He's a part of GHARS, like this is a video by him.
मंगल पांडे ने एग्जाम्पल सेट किया कि हाँ हमको फाइट करना है, किसके लिए? अपने रिलीजन के लिए, किसके लिए? अपने देश के लिए। खूब लड़ी मर्दानी, वो तो झांसी वाली रानी थी। तो ऐसे हमारे पास बहुत सारे हमारे हीरोज रहे हैं जिनकी कहानी हमको सुननी चाहिए। हाँ ये मिस सुनो, तुम मुझे दोगे खून, मैं तुम्हें दूंगा आजादी। उसके आगे कौन बताएगा? सारे जहां से अच्छा दूसरा हमारा। देखा, तो भगत सिंह तो पहले से ही जो है वो देशभक्त थे, पैट्रियट थे, एकदम से अपनी कंट्री को प्यार करते थे। जैसे हम अपने पेरेंट्स को प्यार करते हैं, वो ऐसे ही अपने कंट्री को प्यार करते थे। भारत माँ बोलते हैं जिसको अपनी। आज का कौन गैस करेगा? आज कौन सी कहानी हम लोग सुन रहे हैं? हाँ चाहत। तो अब इंडियन सोल्जर्स को जब निकालना शुरू किया तो वो समझ गए कि भाई कुछ गड़बड़ है, तो उन्होंने और रिवोल्ट कर दिया। तो जब रिवोल्ट होने लगे तो अंग्रेज फिर डर गए और फिर अंग्रेजों ने कहा अब यहाँ से जाना ही सही रहेगा। और पीछे पीछे सब गांधी जी और इनका भी आंदोलन चल रहा था, भारत छोड़ो आंदोलन और ये सारे आंदोलन चल रहे थे पहले। तो ये सबसे मिलकर क्या हुआ, फिर इंडिया जो है वो इंडिपेंडेंट हो गया 1947।
सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग्।
जो क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए, जो हमें लीडरशिप क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए, वो कैसी होनी चाहिए? नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस की जैसे, है ना? दिमाग उनके पास इतना अच्छा था, वो इतने इंटेलिजेंट थे, पढ़ाई में भी सबसे आगे। भाई जो एग्जाम 4 साल में पास करते हैं 7 months में, लेस देन अ ईयर, he cracked that exam and came fourth rank. So he was wonderful. That was the biggest exam at that time, ICS, Indian Civil Service. क्या बनना है? इंटेलिजेंट बनना है, उनकी तरह ब्रेव बनना है, और उनकी तरह सोशल सर्विस भी करनी है। अभ्युदय, आपने क्या लर्न किया इससे?
कि अपने अंग्रेज वाले को लड़ाई नहीं करनी थी।
जन गण मन
नायक जय है, भारत माता विधाता। हम लोग आज सीखते हैं कि जो भी हमारे देश के लिए लड़ाई की है और जो भी हमारे देश को प्यार है, हमें उनके खिलाफ कोई बुरा इल्जाम नहीं लगाना है और उनको प्यार करना है। जय श्री राम,
जय श्री राम,
जय श्री राम,
भारत माता की।
So thank you so much, Dr. Joshi ji. This was like a video by Yogesh Bhatt, like who is also one of the directors for GHARS, and contributes a lot towards the religion aspect, and takes these classes ongoing continuously. He's very dedicated and committed, and is taking these Shishu Mandir classes that are organized on the GHARS platform. So please feel free to join the group, because it's not costing you anything. It's just free of cost, our Niswat GHARS group, and feel free to participate and get your kids and toddlers even involved to know our culture and understand our Hinduism and Hindu culture, our Sanskriti, which is very important and mandate these days. So now I would put back Svetlana on. I think she's back on. Hopefully her volume works now. So welcome, Svetlana. Thank you. Nah, still can't hear you. We can't hear you, Svetlana. No sound. You can take a help from your friend or partner, whoever that is with you, so they can help you assist in getting the microphone on. Your audio is not connected in the laptop, so I don't know if you want to join it through the phone. Do it through the phone, in the Zoom, and then you can just read it from there. Because looks like there is some problem with your laptop.
So till then you can proceed for the next.
Yeah. Okay, so now I would like to invite Kaya Academy, Narmada ji, on board. I'll just give a brief introduction about Narmada, just a second. And we would need her to connect Naveen, Dr. Naveen. She wants to share a video or something, she wants a screen share. So if we can allow her in.
She can share.
Yeah. Okay. So Narmada is Narmada ji is also had been contributing a lot towards GHARS. She was also helping Yogesh ji with GHARS Shishu Mandir earlier, with the kids, but now she is running an organization called Kaya Academy, a Kaya Yoga Academy, and she is a BA in psychology and MA training in educational leadership, and MA in yoga for human excellence, graduate diploma in hotel management and catering technology. So she's an author, global speaker, and top educator of energy economics, and founder of Kaya Academy. As an educator over the past 21 years, she has educated over 10,000 students from 18 different countries. As a spiritual and self-development educator, I have helped thousands, she has helped thousands of people, from kids to seniors, to move from helplessness and despair to gaining confidence on their health, well-being, and life through self-knowledge and emotional mastery. So I would hand it over now to Narmada ji. Please proceed. Thank you. Thank you for accepting the invite today.
Namaste and Vanakkam to everyone, to the honorable guest and all the esteemed participants and audience of this beautiful occasion of 75th Indian Independence celebration that we're doing. I want to thank Dr. Vanita ji and GHARS Association for inviting Kaya Academy to be part of today's celebration of remembering our culture and also to remember the history of the struggle of our independence as well. So I just want to share a little bit of why Kaya Academy and what we do at Kaya Academy before I bring the kids on. I've been a lecturer for many years here in Melbourne. I've taught across in India, Singapore, and here. And I was personally a spiritual seeker for my own development and also to overcome certain issues that I've faced in life through childhood, growing up, and so on. So spiritual growth and exploring and trying to understand who I am was a big part of my growing years. But for work's sake, I was doing teaching. I was working as a teacher and a lecturer. And until about 11, 12 years back, when I went back to India, I've been here for 20 years. I went back to India when I had my twins, and I decided to stay there till they were 1 year old. But I started learning yoga as formally by enrolling into the master's program there. That kind of changed my life and transformed so much of my, answered a lot of my questions. So I ended up staying in India for 7 years to fully explore into this science, understanding it from a science perspective as well. Having come from a psychology background, I really wanted to understand it in depth. So I traveled across India to basically, it was a sabbatical for our own self-discovery as a family. And we stayed for 6.5 years. Once we traveled and learned, and I was teaching also there. When I was learning, I started teaching as well to understand it better. So when I came back, I didn't want to go back to lecturing. I wanted to use my teaching experience to teach what is really important. Because what I understood is learning inner work, learning yoga and the yoga philosophy would actually be the first education that we all need, that the world needs, our children in the future need. When we are focusing, the schools focus on all the other subjects, but inner work is the missing piece, because of which we get lost after having studied so many degrees or whatever we do. End of the day, if we are staying at a question mark, it's because one missing piece of inner work is missing in our education. So I'm really passionate about that. And so I decided to do something from my own part. There's so many wonderful people doing work in this line. I wanted to do my bit. And so I decided to dedicate my career into teaching this sacred knowledge, this sacred service. So I started Kaya Academy and started teaching for seniors here, chair-based yoga at the council. Then I sent my kids to ashram in India, to Shivananda ashram, for about a month to stay there and learn yoga. And when they came back, I started teaching for their friends as well. So slowly but steadily, I was doing it more like with a passion to teach everyone. Then I wanted to make it a proper business as well, for me to build it as a career, so that I'm not doing it as a part-time thing. So I've been working through the 2020 lockdown to really convert this into something full-time for me. So right now I'm offering classes for women and for men, also having digital programs. So I'm fully immersed in this, and kids are a very big part of it. The lockdown, we spent the entire year, almost 6 to 7 months of lockdown, reading this entire Ramayana book. This entire book we completed reading with the kids. So they became really, it's not just not reading aloud. It was more like a critical analysis of Ramayana. We would have interesting conversation about what if this was not, what if Rama did this, what if Hanuman made this decision, and kids would come up with the most beautiful creative answers that will blow my mind. So I thoroughly enjoyed doing this with them. So they really got onto it. They wanted me to go on and read Mahabharata and continue to keep reading Krishna Avatar and so on. But since I was doing other projects, I have stopped it there. But my children and all the other kids who were part of me have taken their own personal interest. Their parents are asking me what to buy. So they have bought the book. So the kids are on their own journey reading it. Even if I'm not reading it with them currently, they are on their own journey reading it. So it gives me a lot of pleasure that, in my own small way, I'm able to contribute this learning about our culture, who we are, because being rooted in who we are is very important to be a global citizen. That's what I believe very strongly. So today, because of COVID, and I can't have all my students, I got few of my students, although at short notice, they made a video and sent it to me. So I've just want to share it with you all. Just share my screen. Where do I play it? Okay, how do I play this video? No.
Namaste from Kaya Yoga Academy.
Can you hear this?
Happy
Yes,
Independence
we can.
Day, and I'm going to be doing a few asanas. Eagle pose. Triangle pose. Goddess pose. Now sitting poses, so twisting pose.
Matsyendrasana. Yes.
Camel pose. Frog pose.
Malasana.
Malasana. Wheel pose. Fish pose. Another version. And ball and Sarvangasana. And ball pose.
Shavasana. Excellent.
Vanakkam. I learned yoga for Bhalavanathi. Today I showed you yoga poses. First one I'm going to show you is chair pose. So legs together. Second, I'm going to show you is tree pose. Right side there. Left side. One second. Last pose I'm going to show you for today is our upward dog or cobra. And that's all. This is tree pose. This is downward dog. This is Chakrasana. Namaste. This is Trikon Asana. This is Bhujangasana. And this is Vajrasana. Thank you. Namaste. Happy Independence Day from Kaya Yoga Academy. I am Arya. I am going to do the warrior sequence. I'm switching legs. I'm doing Parivita Trikonasana now. Now I am doing camel pose. This is downward dog. This is pigeon pose. Now I am doing Sarvangasana with hand. Now I'm going to do it without hands. Thank you, and happy Independence Day from Kaya Yoga Academy.
I hope you enjoyed that. Now, before we finish, we just want to have a quick chat about what the because reading Indian epic stories and mythology has been a big part of our teaching in line with the yama and niyama aspect of yoga, because it's all about character building, and character building comes through listening to our stories from our culture as well as from other cultures. But reading the epics from India and mythology has been a big part. So I want to ask the kids a question. Now, do you want to introduce yourself? Introduce it. What's your name?
I'm Ari.
Okay, so Arya, why do you enjoy Indian epics?
Because they give an interesting story and also adds to know what I know about my culture and adds to the knowledge.
As your knowledge
of me knowing my culture.
Okay, so what's your favorite epic stories?
I like the folk tales because they
Epic, out of the epics was the first question. So what is your favorite epic? Ramayana, Mahabharata?
I kind of like Mahabharata better because there's a tiny bit more action. In Ramayana, they described it a lot, and I don't really like that. I just wanted to get to the story, and it had a lot more characters, so I know more personalities.
Okay, so
and it listed lots of places in India.
So you got to learn a lot about the geography of India. Yes. Anything else you learned from Mahabharata or Ramayana you want to share?
I learned more gods' names and a bit more of a story of a specific god. Like Krishna, I didn't know much, but they mentioned him a lot in the book, so I knew more of what he did in his life.
Okay.
And it also listed how he got killed as well.
Okay. So what would you say for people who want to read epic stories? How would you inspire them to read?
I would.
Why should they read?
Because it's an interesting story, and if they just want to read like an entertaining story, it's also entertaining for them. And if they're in the same culture, they also know more about their culture. If they're from another culture, know about another culture.
Awesome. Thank you, Arya. And Ovia, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ovia.
And Ovia, do you want to tell me what is your favorite epic? Speak up.
Mahabharata.
Mahabharata?
Not Mahabharata. Ramayana.
Okay, so who's your favorite characters in Ramayana and why?
Rama, because he's very loyal, and I like his personality because he's very kind and humble. Lakshmana, because for almost the same reasons, humble, kind, and he was very loyal to his brother and went with him to the exile to the forest. Sita, because she's very brave and also loyal to Rama because she also went with him. And she's also very hopeful because she was very hopeful that Rama would come and save her when she got abducted by Ravana. And
Any
Hanuman.
other characters?
Yeah,
Hanuman. Why?
Because I like his personality and his like how he talks. His persuasive speech.
Persuasive speech, okay.
And how he helped Rama. Yeah.
Any other characters you want to mention? You dressed up as a character.
Tara.
Tara.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Tara?
Tara because she's very intelligent. And she's very knowledgeable and like she has a lot. She's very good at giving advice to people.
Who does she advise mostly?
The
Vanara king?
I forgot his name.
Sugriva?
Sugriva.
Okay.
And yeah.
So
and
what would you tell other kids or people who want to read Ramayana? What would you inspire them to do? How would you inspire someone else to read Ramayana?
It's very entertaining and has lots of great word choice and values. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Ovia. The kids were not prepared for any of this. I just asked them the question because I wanted to get their original answer. So that's why they were kind of like stuck. I'm really like, these are things that comes from their heart. And that's what is really lights my bulb for taking that time to read the stories to them. Now they read on their own. Apart from that, Amar Chitra Katha is a big source that that we have, like 100 Amar Chitra Kathas of histories, historical characters as well as freedom fighters. So the kids really enjoy the folk tales and as well as the leaders. So that's a big part of what we do at Kaya Academy as well, apart from asanas and teaching adults and seniors. So really thank you for this opportunity for letting us share what we do to GHARS again and Panita ji. And I really enjoyed the beautiful music, poetry, and the inspiring speeches from all the guests today. So thank you so much.
You are most welcome, Narmada ji. We are actually so happy, and the kids' performance, it was amazing, incredible, like a work that you are offering in the community by building up the future generation and propagating and instilling the values and our culture into tomorrow's future. And they are our future. We need them to be knowing, and because that's how it's going to propagate. Like we have done our part, like our ancestry who have made lots of sacrifices, and it's such an honor to see, like the future generation getting instilled those values like that they're getting from all these, like reading of the scriptures and Ramayana, Mahabharata. And you are just amazing and wonderful what you are doing in the community, and we were so honored like to have you today as part of our celebration. It was a true celebration because yoga is like the union of body, mind, and soul, and it's truly amazing like to propagate yoga into the kids, like because they when they grow up, they are going to realize the value of what's getting instilled in them now. So thank you so much, and I'm so pleased. Like hope Svetlana got her volume back. Like Svetlana, I would like to give you an opportunity again, if you can talk like now. So that would be great. Thank you. Thank you, Narmada ji. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Namaste. Can you say something? Yes, now we can hear you. Just make it a little bit louder. Can you be a bit louder?
Oh, sorry for my mistake. I'm Natasha. My name is Lana. I'm very happy and pleasant at the same time. Can all of you celebrate the 70th anniversary of India's independence? I wanted to share my wonderful experience of beautiful collections karma, or in another way, and of course, we try to know again the essence and amazing escape of transcendental karma. And benefit both for and for society health.
Sorry, Svetlana, it's a little bit unclear. Like, can you be little louder and slow?
To this area, such as drama, Mahadev, and relax it way and deeply accumulate the valuable and knowledge of movie. Huge thanks to the creators, the film crew, and actors who keep and of course, the definition of spiritual science by starting the Mahabharata Ramayana.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We have been looking forward to welcoming you back on board this Krishna West Live community. Get you away. These are so much you handle again. Keep people away. For the back, start with a yellow label. Just be put under the seat in front of you. And all larger items placed into the overhead lockers. If you are sitting in a front row seat or in an emergency exit row, the floor area must be completely clear for
Svetlana, you can go and request him to be quiet or something.
Clear for remaining customers.
Yeah, thank you.
From my personal spiritual experience, I can consider that principle is definitely spirituality, namely the direct and understanding of God as a pure and entire consciousness, which is clear and stable. At the same time, a person is considered as an individual unity consciousness. The part of divine consciousness. This topic, for example, is devoted to the entire Yoga Vasishtha. Sense and individual consciousness, so that this individual consciousness they define divine consciousness, while awakening the chakras and spiritual channels in person. I also to know that this
I think she is not audible, Dr. Vinita.
Yeah, we can hardly hear. We can hardly hear. Svetlana, it's very like yeah, like we have to focus a lot to listen to you. In between, there is a louder sound, like but then it goes like a bit slow, so we can hardly hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. But the Christian things, it seems so that
Nothing is audible.
Huh?
Nothing is audible. His voice is not coming. I think that we can proceed further to another speaker. Tomar is here. I think that
we are sorry, Svetlana. We have to because no one can hear what you're talking. Like, I'm sorry, but we have to get it disconnected. Like, because it's not audible at all. Like what you are saying. Like we are just like seeing your face moving. Unfortunately. So I have to get another speaker like now. But yeah, like if you can maybe like join through the phone. That's why I asked you to join through the phone, because the microphone is better like on the phone. And it would have been like just join on Zoom through the phone if you can. Yeah. Because we hardly heard anything else. Yeah. Sorry, because we are restricted with the time, so we can't. Thank you. Sorry, now I would like to invite like Amarjit Bamra ji from Amarjit Singh Bamra. Like he is from UK, like and in the parliamentarian, he's the president of All India Parliamentary Group, like APPG. So because he is on a way to catch a flight like to somewhere, so I just had to unfortunately like take him before he gets onto the plane, before Professor Tomar. Like after that I would get Professor Tomar like after Amarjit ji. But I welcome you on board, and Amarjit ji, you can now take on the stage. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry. We have a bit of a... I'm actually speaking to you from, actually I'm sitting in the aircraft, and I'm on my way to Switzerland. So I'm really honored and privileged that my loving sister Vanita ji is working so hard, to bring communities together, to bring our joint passion is in Indian traditional sciences and Ayurveda. So we have much work that we do every year, and I'm so grateful, as I said, for this possibility to, humbly pay my my greetings and my best wishes on India's.
We lost you, Amarjit. Can't hear. Amarjit, lost you. Are you still there?
Yeah, he's there, but I think that he's in flight. That's why he got disconnected.
Yeah, like Amarjit ji, are you there? Like, or I can put somebody else like now.
Yes, I can. I can. Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Now we can hear you. Yeah.
Yes. So we are anticipating the study to take, for 6 months, and be 20,000 people who will be, who will be under the microscope of this study, and so I'm very.
Can't hear you in between.
So it is the first country outside India that will investigate the power of Ayurveda to combat COVID-19. So I'm really connection, but I hope that I got through, and I wanted to just share that wonderful beautiful news with you and on your stage. Vanita ji, thank you so much indeed for all the amazing work you're doing. And I hope that through your grace, we stay connected and continue to receive further blessings. Thank you so much, Vanita ji.
You are most welcome, Amarjit ji, and thank you for taking out time even while you were in the commute. So we are honored to have you, and congratulations for your achievement. Because I know you were cutting out in between, but UK is the first country that is taking on board, in association with the university, for collaboration and doing a research in Ayurveda, especially with ashwagandha, to combat COVID. So that's happening in the UK. And we are grateful, and thank you so much. It's a pleasure and honored to have you on board today, especially on this auspicious occasion of Independence Day. Thank you. Have a safe flight, and maybe we can have more longer time in the next one. But thank you very much. And now I would invite Professor Toma, and Girendra Singh Tomarji, and I would just give a brief introduction. He did his BMS from Jivaji University, Gwalior, with gold medal in 1978, and did MD and PhD in Ayurveda Kaya Chikitsa, which is medicine, from prestigious Banaras Hindu University in 82 and 86. He has served UP Ayurvedic Services, Uttar Pradesh Ayurvedic Services, in the capacity of lecturer, reader, professor, principal, cum superintendent to more than 32 years. He also worked as Dean, Faculty of Ayurveda and Unani Medicine, CSJM University, Kanpur, and has worked as Adjunct Professor, Faculty of Ayurveda, Institute of Medical Sciences, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. Presently, he has been nominated as member, Technical Working Group, Ayush NTEP Collaboration, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. He's the International President of Vishwa Ayurveda Mission and conferred upon Medicina Alternativa from Denmark, MDMA, Fellow of Alternative Medicine from Spain, Fellow of Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapeeth from Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. He has supervised 19 PhD theses, has published 200 research papers in reputed national and international journals. He has authored 2 popular books on Ayurveda, presided over 100 national and international conferences, organized 50 national, international conferences, seminars, workshops, and has delivered 250 lectures during Corona pandemic from different national, international platforms, including Buddha International TV, Chicago, USA. He has been meticulously engaged in revival and development of Ayurveda on scientific lines. So now we are so honored, Professor Tomarji, to have you on this as occasion of celebration. On behalf of GHARS, please accept our gratitude for sparing some time to come on board. And now I'll hand it over to you to say whatever you want to say, the poetry or the speech. Thank you.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद डॉक्टर बनीता जी. Am I audible?
Hanji, we can hear you clearly. Yes.
स्वतंत्रता दिवस के अमृत महोत्सव, we are celebrating 75th Independence Day. इस अवसर पर आपने ये कार्यक्रम आयोजित किया है जिसमें संपूर्ण विश्व के तमाम देशों के लोग भारत की मिट्टी की खुशबू को बिखेर रहे हैं. बहुत ही प्रसन्नता हो रही है, चाहे वो योग हो और चाहे आयुर्वेद हो या अन्य विधाएं हो. इन सारी चीजों को आपने बिखेर दिया, एक ही माला में पिरो दिया. इसका संपूर्ण श्रेय जाता है डॉक्टर बनीता शर्मा जी को. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत साधुवाद इस कार्यक्रम के आयोजन के लिए. मैं आपके सामने भारत की इस भूमि से, भारत की इस धरती से, प्रयागराज से आपके सामने चंद पंक्तियां मैं प्रस्तुत करना चाहता हूं स्वतंत्रता दिवस के अवसर पर. जरा ध्यान देंगे.
आओ फिर से अलख जगाएं वीरों के बलिदान की, भारत माँ का नमन करें हम शक्ति हिंदुस्तान की। वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। सीमा पर तैनात जवानों का जज्बा अलबेला है, पल पल पर इस वीर भूमि पर लगे शहीदी मेला है। शेरों की आवाज घोर सुन दुश्मन घबरा जाते हैं, वो मूसक की भांति बने निज बिल में जा छुप जाते हैं। चलो आज फिर गाथा गाएं शेरों की संतान की, आओ फिर से अलख जगाएं वीरों के बलिदान की। भारत माँ का नमन करें हम मिट्टी हिंदुस्तान की। वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। दुर्गम पथ टेढ़ी राहों को हम सीधा कर सकते हैं, दुर्गम पथ टेढ़ी राहों को हम सीधा कर सकते हैं। दुश्मन की गोली छीने को, दुश्मन की गोली छूने को सीने यहाँ मचलते हैं। कौन टटेगा इनके सन्मुख, सिर पर कफन जो बांधे हैं, अपना सर्वस्व त्याग देश की सीमा के रखवाले हैं। हमें गर्व है इस माटी पर जो है हिंदुस्तान की, हमें गर्व है इस माटी पर जो है हिंदुस्तान की। आओ फिर से अलख जगाएं वीरों के बलिदान की, भारत माँ का नमन करें हम शक्ति हिंदुस्तान की। वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। इसी तिरंगे की खातिर है कितने वीर शहीद हुए, इसी तिरंगे की खातिर है कितने वीर शहीद हुए। कितनों ने तब हंसते हंसते फांसी के फंदे हैं छुए, वो कितनी बहन बेटियों के माथे के थे सिंदूर पूछे, कितनी बहन बेटियों के थे माथे के सिंदूर पूछे। अगणित माताओं की गोदें उजड़ी और अरमान बुझे, उसी तिरंगे पर न्यौछावर बाजी अपनी जान की। आओ फिर से अलग जगाएं वीरों के बलिदान की, भारत माँ को नमन करें हम शक्ति हिंदुस्तान की। वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। शरणागत वत्सल उस प्रभु की हम संतान निराली हैं, स्वाभिमान से शीश झुके तो रग प्रताप की लाली है। भगत सिंह बिस्मिल सुभाष आजाद वीर की भूमि यही, राजगुरु सावरकर दुर्गा लक्ष्मीबाई डटी यही, लक्ष्मीबाई डटी यही। बच्चे बच्चे में जीवित है वही प्रतिज्ञा आन की। आओ फिर से अलख जगाएं माटी हिंदुस्तान की, आओ फिर से अलख जगाएं वीरों के बलिदान की। भारत माँ का नमन करें हम शक्ति हिंदुस्तान की। वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। अंतिम है, राष्ट्र धर्म से बढ़कर कोई हम सबका ईमान नहीं, भारत माता की गोदी से हटकर कुछ अरमान नहीं, नहीं तिरंगे की गरिमा को कभी ठेस पहुंचाएंगे। जय हो जय हो जय हो प्यारे अपने हिंदुस्तान की, आओ फिर से अलख जगाएं वीरों के बलिदान की। भारत माँ का नमन करें हम शक्ति हिंदुस्तान की। वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय। भारत के उन सभी सपूतों को नमन, और मैं प्रणाम करता हूं भारत की भूमि से कि आप विश्व के किसी भी कोने में रहें, लेकिन भारत माता की विश्व की जो कीर्ति पताका है उसको फहराते रहेंगे, और संपूर्ण विश्व में भारत को विश्व गुरु बनाने के लिए नियमित रूप से सन्नद्ध रहेंगे। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, और स्वतंत्रता दिवस के अमृत महोत्सव की बहुत बहुत मंगल कामनाएं। जय आयुर्वेद, जय धन्वंतरी, जय स्वतंत्रता दिवस। धन्यवाद विनीता जी ये अवसर प्रदान करने के लिए।
आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया प्रोफेसर तोमर जी। आपकी कथा बहुत ही पोइट्री बहुत इंस्पिरेशनल थी, तो वो हमारे अंदर अपने देश की तरफ भक्ति की भावना जगाता है। बट हम आपके बहुत कृतज्ञ हैं कि आप आज अपने हमारे लिए समय निकाल सके। थैंक यू सो मच, एंड इट वाज अ ग्रेट ऑनर टू हैव यू। And Next, I would like Joshiji to play a songs like recording by Simran, but I'll just introduce her first, just to say a little about her, like it's not a lot. Okay, she is, Simran Likhari is a social worker based in North Vancouver, Canada, and she teaches weaving on handloom to adults with developmental disabilities. In her spare time, she likes to sing and has performed on stage for various musical shows in Vancouver, Canada. So she couldn't unfortunately make it live today, but we are pleased to have, because it was great on her part to send us like the recordings of the songs like that she wanted us to share with you. So here it is, patriotic songs from Simran Likhari. She was my classmate and a schoolmate actually. Thank you. Thank you. वीडियो उल्टा आ रहा है. अभी भी उल्टा है.
ये वैसा ही भेजा है उन्होंने, वैसा ही है, फाइल से भेजा.
अच्छा, चलो ठीक. Are you playing the second one?
Yes. Voice you are getting audio?
Yes. We can't hear. No, we can't hear.
1 minute.
So that was Simran Likhari, from Canada, and she actually was my schoolmate, and we went to school together in the primary till secondary, and she was even an amazing singer then. And she's trained by a very renowned guru in India, for her music lessons. And as I hope you all enjoyed, and she's got a beautiful melodious voice. So thank you, Simran, wherever you are, if you're listening, for sending us even your recording, and that was a great. I'm thankful to you, and on such a short notice. But if you are listening anywhere, we really enjoyed and loved hearing you once more, especially myself. Thank you. And now I would invite our last performance for the celebration, which is by Alokita Dhar. She is I'll just give her introduction. Alokita Dhar she has performed even earlier, even in the last Independence Day celebration we did with GHARS. Even then it was the last performance, and even now it's the last one. So I would first of all request Naveen Joshi, sir, if you could connect Alokita ji. What's your sound?
Yes, she's connected.
Yeah.
She's connected.
Okay, all right, okay. So she can share the screen, can she? Can she do that?
She can share, she's co-host.
Okay. So yeah, that's her son, Siddharth. So Alokita Dhar is the founder and director of Alokita's dance studio, popularly known as ADS. It caters classical and contemporary fusion style of dancing. She started learning Bharatanatyam at the age of 3 and won the state level competition at age of 8 in Meghalaya and was awarded by the chief minister then. The journey of dance kept adding with many much colors, acknowledgements, and learning different forms. She performed many shows and performing arts in Chicagoland. Her show Navarasa was a huge hit for its concept and direction in 2017 in BAGC, which added another feather on her cap. She also put up a show for Vivekananda Vedanta Society of Chicago on philosophy of emotions for some prestigious university students in Michigan in 2019, and Swami Ishtananda awarded her for the concept and choreography. Her student recently won Worldwide Crown Education Challenge Award, organized by Harvard and Stanford University for concept and choreography by Alokita. Her journey in dance still continues, and she wishes to inspire, motivate, and bring out dance, a revolution in this new world. She believes that everyone can dance and express themselves through dance at any age. Get connected to yourself and your soul and the universe. And she is a wonderful artist, to say so. And amazingly, every time any event is happening, I just call on her, Alokita ji, are you available? And she never says no. So, which nobody does to me, which I am fortunate. I believe, thank you everyone for honoring my word and my request, especially on this Independence Day. And I'm blessed to have all you people connected in my life. I would hand it over to Alokita ji now to conclude the ceremony. Just after, I will just thank everyone after Alokita's dance. So just stay tuned and for the final performance, and welcome Alokita ji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vanita ji. It is always a pleasure to be, associated with Ayurvedas, and I am really fortunate to have, given this platform. I believe that, first of all, a very happy Independence Day to all of you. It is a pleasure, to stay in a country where you have the liberty, because I'm sure we all, with our ancestors, we do have a kind of emotion that is there, where we know that how difficult it was to get that freedom, because freedom is the ability of the power or the act to say or think in whatever you want to do. And it is not only the liberty, but it is also empowering. So we have this liberty to take our culture across the globe. And Australia, being staying away from India, how much you all are involved in the independence ceremony is a great thing. And I was just looking at the kids being trained on the Vedas and the mythologies and the yoga, which are like the roots of India, the origin of what Indian culture is. Similarly, I have worked across the globe talking about art and culture, about dances. Well, I had mixed contemporary along with my classical forte. So thank you so much for this. I'm going to present you guys a dance, which I believe you will all like it. Again, remembering our country. Right now I'm in India, so I'm very happy to be here and, dancing for the Independence Day. So just give me a moment. Let me, start. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing performance, like Alokita ji, like that was such a fantastic performance. Like you were amazing, and we really enjoyed and loved as always, and we are so grateful, especially on behalf of GHARS, for your dedication and commitment towards your passion, following the passion. It's just amazing work you are doing back there in Mumbai, in India. And Alokita ji, she takes classes online as well, and she teaches to any age, women or whoever is interested. Like she does all that, and she has inspired me so many times, like to come on, get on there, like I will teach you. And so, which is amazing. And
I would want to add here, Vanita ji, that women like you actually who empower everybody else. I'm sure you're doing a great job there in Australia, and I know we have a lot spoken about dancing for middle-aged women, because that is the time when they come and leave dancing because they think they're done with their age, the physical stamina, but they're ready to do Zumba, but sometimes it's not dancing. So I mixed it up with a little Western, moves, a little bit of jazz and contemporary. So, so that, we get a clear connection of East and West. So, Vanita ji, I want to thank you, Ayush, and everybody here.
Thank you.
And it is so nice to see all of them, Dharmendra sir and Naveen sir and Tomar sir, for all the great association we had for all these years. I mean, after coming here in India, thank you so much for always remembering me. And this is what liberty and freedom for us as dancers, as women, where we can, dance given the platform. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, thank you. Stay blessed and happy Independence Day. And thank you. You have been very kind towards me, saying such an honoring words for myself. Like I'm greatly privileged. Like I get all this love and blessings, like from all of you and others. Like not even on the stage. Like this day, I feel myself like I'm anyways blessed. But I am living a life of freedom. Thank you. And I would now request just a final word from our main collaborator, Naveen Joshi ji, just to say little words like on this auspicious day. And then I would close with a thank you note finally. Naveen Joshi ji.
Thank you, Vanita ji, for a very beautiful program organized in this platform. On behalf of Ayush Darpan Foundation Trust, I am always in support of these type of programs which enhance the patriotism as well as explore our Hinduism across the globe. And I am thankful to GHARS community, all the experts who were invited here, and very beautiful presentation by Narmada Kumarji, as well as your friend who sent you the videos. And Dr. G.S. Tomar sir, as well as Alokita Dharji. She already given so many programs in Ayush Darpan. So I'm thankful to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen Joshi sir. Like you are a great inspiration anyways, like you're doing such an incredible work, like to propagate Ayurveda, like, and consistent efforts, like by doing some teachings online and conducting so many global webinars, especially at the time when everyone was home. He was just convinced, like, and dedicated and committed towards offering all these classes, webinars, seminars, almost like 40 to 50 webinars I did myself, like So you can imagine how many, and it's global presentation. It's not like just in India, but I did collaborate on many occasions with Professor Joshi, and he is teaching in the university in India. And I just would like to thank you everyone now, saying just few words because of the India, how it has confidently building up the strengths, India reached out to the other countries for this fight against COVID and stood by the global community in the times of distress. Indians don't just like to work for themselves. It's been the tradition of India, but work for the well-being of the whole world. World now realizes what our sages said long ago. Global community is but one family, Vasudev Kutumbakam, which is a global one family that we were called, and we have been through these tough lessons and tough times and learned lessons in the year 2020. Invisible virus has diminished the world and has shown the world that human being is the master of nature. I bestow, it's still not late for the humanity to stand by and live in harmony with nature. Pandemic and the climate change awakened the global community and realized human-centric collaboration is more important than the economic-centric inclusion. So greater change for the better of the humanity is needed. We are all open for the mother nature and putting aside all differences and prejudices. We need to rise above all levels and come together to save the planet. Only then we can create a better future. Establishment of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya is a commendable conduct. I congratulate all fellow citizens. The patience and wisdom shown by India with this pandemic has been appraised all over the world. India has a lot to offer to the global community, especially for intellectual and spiritual enrichment and promotion of the world peace. With this spirit to offer, I offer a prayer for the well-being of our community. Sarve santu sukhina, sarve santu nirabhaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid sukha bhavait. It means may all be happy, may all be free from illness, may all see the enrichment and is auspicious, may all be free from all despair and diseases. So the message from this prayer is India's unique gift to the humanity for the universal well-being. I once again congratulate you all on this 75th Independence Day, wishing all a good conduct and spreading forward our culture and propagating and standing by the nation. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Bharat Mata Ki Jai. And I thank you every participant, and I would like to congratulate them for the work they are inputting. And we would send them a certificate of participation, which would be sent to everyone through the email or whichever medium we can online. And thank you for all your wonderful performances and the speeches and the time you all.
And finally, also Rashtragan. I think that Vanita ji, at last again Rashtragan हम अगर play करें तो अच्छा रहेगा.
Yes,
समापन में.
yes. For sure, for sure. Hanji, thank you. And here we just take an oath, it was pleasure to have you all. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.